Hello, Stampers. It's Faye from Faye's Stampin' Studio. Thank you for stopping by this evening. And tonight we're going to talk about the Beauty of Friendship bundle. And I'm going to show you a card that's called a Pop and Flip Fancy Fold. And I got the idea from Rachel Tessman. And I also saw one with Jennifer Kirk. So if any of these things work, then that's great. So yeah. So first off, I'm going to share with you a few samples, and I'll just move that out of the way for a second. And I'm going to pull these samples in. So first off, I wanted to share this one with you. Now this is one that I received on a swap that I was in, and no, I forgot what the gal's name was and where I put that card, but anyways, it's pretty cute. All it is it's got this layer of designer series paper here, and then it's got another layer on top of it for that tree, and this here is a piece of the designer series paper as well, and that's from the Beauty of Earth designer series paper. So that's kind of what we're focusing on this evening. And I hope that I stay in this screen, you guys, because I'm, for some reason, not actually seeing it. So I tried to hook up my, and it was there, but as soon as it connected, then I lost my link to it. I've got a mirror the screen, it's called. Anyways, so it seems like it's cut off. It was working when I set it up, but not anymore, so I'll just have to do the best I can with this. And this here one is also made with the Beauty of the Earth designer paper, and this is another one of the Tower Fold cards. And I used the designer series paper on all of these layers and this one. And then these are so soft, so sweetly stitched, the framelets, and then also the tree is from Beauty of Friendship, as well as the little birds are from the dies in that set too. So that's the second one. And then the third one, this one I made in my Cards in a Cuppa class a week or so ago. And this is designer series paper in behind. And this is actually the negative of the tree that's cut out from the dies. So you get that image. And so yeah, and then I just put the designer series paper with the blue showing out, and it turned out so nice. And this is the die that's going to cut that tree. It's quite intricate, and this here extra around here is just for keeping it strong so they don't bend. So it doesn't actually cut those, it cuts those branches like that. So, and yeah, and then these are the cute little bumblebee trinkets that are available as well. And then this one, I just quickly tossed this one together. It's using a couple of retired pieces of product. And then this was another card that I had made, and again I used the negative image of it and adhered it onto here. So this card's a little bigger. I'm going to have to get out my envelope maker and make my own envelopes for this one here. And then the last one, first off, I'm going to show you this one. Now this is a pop and flip, and I believe I've showed, you might have seen this one already. It's in the horizontal landscape method, and it comes up, and it just, when you lift it up, it opens and it sits like this. You kind of have to tuck that underneath it, so then you're going to see it like that. So so that's the one we're going to make, but this here is what I made for a sample for you to see. I decided I wanted to try it in portrait, so it was basically the same ideas, actually the same measurements, And I didn't use the ovals because those retired since I made that. So I went with the layering circle dies and our Beauty of Friendship bundle. So, and then it just opens like this. And I put the little ladybugs in here just to kind of hold it open. And I thought that worked quite well. Add a little piece of designer paper on the bottom here and stamp my images there. So, without anything further, I will get on with the video. And I'd like to thank Jade for being the host for this week's event. So I don't know, some of you probably maybe don't even know Jade, but so I so gratefully accepted, so I was happy for that. And so we're hoping she can get a few free products. She's new to the stamping world, so it'll be great to give her a little bit of a hand on that one. I think anyways. And, well, I want a couple other things I wanted to tell you too, but okay. They kind of slipped my mind. I guess they'll come to me, hopefully. Oh, I wanted to tell you, I've been working on a bingo. You might have saw that post. So I'm going to do a bingo on the 28th of June, and it's a private event where you have to register in order to attend, and it's more like a product. It focuses on a product, and the product that I've chosen is hand penned petals. Get all tongue-tied with that one. And the last thing is I hope you guys have all seen the scavenger hunt that I posted earlier today, so that you can get accustomed to the new catalog and be able to find things in it. So that's kind of what that scavenger hunt is, and I've got a prize for the lucky winner of that scavenger hunt. So if you can fill in the questions, that would be really good. And I'm really disappointed that my screen is not working the way it should. So anyway, oh well. I guess that's life in the fast lane. Always technology's got to throw a screw in somewhere, I think. Things never work out the way you want them to. Oh. Anyways, so today I'm gonna make this card out of Misty Moonlight. Try not to lose my little birds here. They're white. They're going to blend into my background. Hope you guys are seeing this, as I cannot tell where I'm at on my screen. Oh, there we are. Finally, I had to reopen that. So first off, this piece is Misty Moonlight, and it is 4.5 inches by 11 inches, and it's scored at 5.5 inches right across here. And then there is, I have a couple more pieces here. And then there is this piece, and it is 2.25 inches by 4 inches, and it is scored at 1, 2, and 3 inches. And then we've got this smaller piece, and it's 3/4 inch by 2 inches, scored at 1 inch. Now these two pieces are for the mechanism, so we'll just put those aside for a second. And then I've got some Whisper White, and that's going to be for the inside, and this piece is for the outside. So I don't know for sure. What do you think? I was thinking I was going to put this here, but I know this would be lovely on the blue. Maybe I'll change my mind. I think I might just do it this way. I think that would, this actually looks like it could be a beautiful Christmas scene. But I did think I was going to use this side. But you know what? I do like this side a lot better. So I'm going to change my plan. I'm going to change my ideas. So I'm going to start off with putting some adhesive on the perimeter of this piece here. Got my Stampin' seal for that. And with this, try to not to push too hard on it because it gets stubborn when you do that. And so since I decided to use the tree side, I must make sure I put it up the right direction. Oop. This stuff grabs. Cut that over a little further than I want it. And I hadn't even pushed down on it, so. Okay, that's how that goes. And then I think I'm going to put this piece inside next. Oopsie, I touched my light and turned it off. Made it a little darker. So this piece is going on here, and then I've got this piece here that I'll put on the bottom here along there. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this on here, and we'll adhere that onto the bottom. Looks like I could use my scissors and just trim that edge off a slight bit. I have it a little bit too long. Okay. So then this is going to go on the inside like that. This is actually quite a simple card. It looks like it could be a little confusing, but it's really not too bad at all. I sometimes I think I use more of this adhesive than I really need to. Okay. So the next thing is I'm going to take this here and I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm only going to use the one size of this. On this one I used a smaller size, but I don't like the way you can see the mechanism through it here, so I'm going to make it a little differently. I'm going to put this here and this way. And I want to see. I'm just going to take this over to my Big Shot and run it through the Big Shot. And you'll see how it looks. Actually, I think I'm going to do it in front of you so you can actually see it too. I want it, you have to, that goes in here like this. You got to make your sandwich. And then this piece here. Now this one here, you're going to need an inch up here to fit the mechanism on the inside. So you want to make sure you get that down enough for that. And then we're going to just, I'm going to put this on top of it and get it started going through. Hopefully I don't shake the camera too much with this. And I'm going to move it off of here to take it out. And here's our finished piece right here. Now when I initially thought this, I thought, well, you could cut another piece, or I also thought about putting this in the background. That's why I thought about putting the tree there, but I'm gonna change up my colors that I originally planned on doing it. It's a woman's prerogative, is it not? You can change your mind. What the heck you're doing? Okay, so again, these are from the Layering Circles dies, that particular one. And then we're gonna use your bone folder and score these well. So then we need this to be in the middle. So this one edge is going to go up on there right at the fold line. And you're going to virtually center it too. So I'm going to use my liquid adhesive for this one here. I just find it's nice and strong. So again, I'm trying to center that between both these sides. And just push her down there. And then this other side, it's going to be glued on there. So it's going to glue it like this. So now I need to put my adhesive on this other side. And I'm just going to tuck it there and bring that in like that. Tuck it into the edges and put a little pressure in there to hold it down, and then fold it shut. And you can just kind of hold it down that way. So that gives you that mechanism. Easy peasy to do. And then this other piece is actually for to hold your other pop-up. But I think I'm going to go ahead and we'll stamp this other pieces. We'll do that together. I've got this here, and I'm going to make my tree trunk. Actually, you know, I'm thinking I'm going to stick with the blue shades, make it a little bit more monochromic. So I'm going to make my tree. I'm going to make my tree Night of Navy. Like I said, I've totally changed up how it's going to look, so it'll be all new to me as well. And I just have a piece of scrap paper to stamp my tree on. I've got my piercing mat in here to give it some nice stability. So there. And then, well, I'm going to say my tree should be in a couple of shades of blue. Body blue, maybe, and Misty Moonlight. We're going to use those two shades. So the more solid one, the one that's on first, I'm going to use the stamp that's got a little more opening on it. So they're kind of hard to tell apart, actually. But this one here has got, and again, it's hard to tell even because I've got this such a light color. And then I will do the two-step stamping. That's what this process is called when you use and stamp over top. That's called a two-step stamp. So I think I like that. That looks pretty good. So now I need to bring in the big shot again because, well, actually, let me stamp one more thing before I do that. And then we don't have to, I'm going to stamp this greeting. I'm going to say, friendship refreshes the soul. I thought that was kind of a nice saying. And I want to put it quite close down here, because we don't want our circle to hide it. This is Night of Navy, and I'm just going to stamp it. I wonder if I shouldn't just use that piece right there. that I cut out of the center. And then you'll be able to use this other piece on a different card. So I don't think I want to use that on there. No, not happening. So this is where the next step is. So now, again, I am going to bring my Big Shot back. And we're going to cut. But I'm going to bring my mini cut and emboss machine in for this one because I don't need the big one. It's not as wide. This one is much more compact. And we're going to use 1, 2, and 3. 2, 2, 1. I think this is going to be right. I think this is all I need. I'll find out, won't we, when it doesn't work. We'll know if I have enough layers. So I'm just going to move this around a bit here. I think I'm going to hold it in place with a piece of, just with a sticky note or something here. Find one that's a bit smaller than that. Because we're going to cut this tree up a little bit, so. And we might as well put this one on as well at the same time, since we can do that. I got enough space in between them that they're not going to interfere with each other here. Kind of some big sticky notes. Okay, now it's a true test. Do I have enough layers? I haven't used the mini one very much yet, so oh, I think it's right. And we're just cranking it through. It's going to do a little bit of snap crackling. That's normal. Move that out of the way here. And here's our tree, and here's the tree top. Be careful I don't throw those away with the paper scraps. That would not be a wise thing to do at all. Okay. So the next thing is we're going to take this circle, and I have to decide on the height for this tree, where I need to put it. I'm going to say probably about there is a good spot. So now I'm just going to pull this out of here. I'm going to I'm just going to put a little mark on it here, because that's where I want to cut it off. If I lose my spot, I wouldn't be happy about that if I did that. And then I'm again going to use my Tombow adhesive to stick my tree on. I think I did something differently on this first one for some reason. I think I stamped it right over top of the branches, because I stamped it right over top of the branch, and then I attached it to the tree. But on this one I did it separately, because I'm actually going to put that tree top, the canopy of that tree, on with a dimensional. So we figured it out before by placing it on there, and the tree trunk should be there. And then this, I am just going to add a few dimensionals on there. This looks like I'm pretty near out of these little guys. I'm down to the last scrap. And they're gone. So I'll be digging a new one out for my next project. Well, I hope that it gets warmer out because it's not very darn nice out these days with the rain, but it was such a welcoming event, that rain. We needed it so badly. I think I probably could have put that slightly lower. Might have to fix that by putting a bird there so you don't see it. I got these tiny little birds I want to put on here. And again, I'm just going to use the liquid glue for the birds too. That works as good as anything. It's actually one of my favorites, this liquid glue. I love it. It's so forgiving if you don't get it quite right. Okay, now for the last step, we've got to put this here in here. And again, I'm back to my liquid glue because it works so well. And then, so this piece here, it has to come up like this, but we'll have to trim off a little bit here so it doesn't interfere with the opening and closing of that. And then we're just going to put a little adhesive on here again. I hope it doesn't squish out because... And then this just goes in the circle where you cut it out of. Keep our fingers crossed that it works, you guys. Yeah, there it is. And now what I like to do is I found it was nice to put the little ladybugs or something in here to... Guess you could just use a jewel of some description, but the ladybugs are kind of suitable for this outdoorsy card. And I like putting these on with the mini glue dots. Those are so small and fiddly. But they are so adorable once you get them there. So with putting it right there, it'll kind of keep it open. So then when you close it, you just have to tuck it like that. And I was going to put a piece of ribbon on there, but I have to look and see what I have just to kind of dress it up a little bit on the outside. Or maybe we don't need to put anything there. I have some white ribbon, I guess. I've got a lot of choices here. That one will look good on there, I think. Clean up a couple things here off my desk. Always gets too much clutter on it. I'm not sure how long a piece I need. I'm going to say probably about 15 or 16 inches. It's nicer to have a little extra than not enough. And this here is this seam binding, crinkled seam binding. Looks like I got to get that on my order because it is so versatile. You can color it with your your Stampin' Blends. I've been doing that a lot lately, so I'm kind of running out of options. I want a staticky ribbon. It doesn't want to go through where I want it to go. There. I like this ribbon because it does tie quite easily as well. And it looks like I have more than I need. Hopefully. I like to make bunny ears, you guys. I'm back in kindergarten where it works well, teaching your kids how to tie their shoes. That's how my kids learned to tie their shoes. It was bunny ears. I think I'm going to slide it off a bit to the side. No, you can fuss it and make it where you want it to be, but that's a little bigger than I like too. Sometimes fussing with these, you make it worse. Cut a little bit of this off, get it out of the way. There. I hope you've enjoyed this evening's tutorial, and I'll be back again tomorrow night at 7 with another tutorial for you. So in the meantime, have a great evening, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, thanks for stopping by.